Welcome to another show of Relationship Wednesday. And my name is Sami Maura Wawero. I'll be your host. And today we are glad to be joined again by our guests, a young couple. And they have interesting story that we watched in episode 5. We are going to hear more from them because they have more inspiring story. They have a lot to teach the young people. In our last episode, they mentioned things like marriage is a destiny. It is a walk that you need to decide and make a decision wisely. You need to marry a friend. And they also talked many other things, and we are going to continue with that topic of relationships. And I'm going to invite them to introduce themselves. We can start with Mrs. Moses. Just briefly tell us your name and tell us what you're currently doing.
Thank you very much. My name is Grace Njeri. Professionally, I'm a marketer and I'm also a poet.
Thanks a lot. Mr. Moses?
Yeah, my name is Moses Ndaita. I'm a businessman. Yeah.
Great to hear. Yeah, so we are glad to have you again on this show. And in our last episode, we learned that there was a lot of wisdom from you guys. And because of time, of course, we had to cut it short. But I promise we'll have another part for this. And we are glad that you have agreed to come and be part of this. So I will start with the first question, which I will direct to you, Mr. Moses, so that you can tell us more about purity in marriage. Most young people, as we mentioned in our last episode, is they rush things. They don't take those procedure that you will, want to take, because marriage is not something that you just start. You decide overnight and start. It's a journey, and I want you to take them through that journey briefly.
Okay. We first thank you so much for giving us another opportunity to be here, because we believe everything happens for a purpose. We thank God for this opportunity. Last time, yes, we talked about destiny, marriage destiny, and today we are going to touch on purity. And there's something we said about you attract who you are.
Yes.
That is very key, because when you talk about purity, purity begins from inside.
Yes.
You need to be pure inside.
Yeah.
So that is what will attract another person. That is maybe you are a man, or maybe you are a woman.
Yes.
And it's not easy to stay pure.
Yes.
It takes a decision from within. I'm going to stay pure until. And one thing I love about God, God is a God of second chance. Maybe you're watching as a young person, maybe you missed on your way on this journey of relationship, but God is a God of second chance. God will still give you a second chance, and it be pure again. Issue ni kurudia hiyo kosa. So today, as we talk about purity, we want to encourage the young people and tell them that it is possible to stay pure.
Yes.
It all begins in the mind. It all begins in the heart.
Yes.
You have to make a decision. I'm going to stay pure until this day comes. And maybe if you have just messed on your youth or your harakati hapa na pale,
Yes.
just go back to the drawing line and now ask God, now I messed up. I need to begin a new journey from this point. Yes. Let her say something.
Yeah, as she comes in, I will also want her to briefly touch on the fact that when it comes to purity, normally the women, or rather the lady is the one who will be to set the standard and say no. Because I would say men are a bit pushy when it comes to wanting to test the waters. And in our last episode, we said if you hear a man asking for, this testing of the waters before marriage, it is a waste of time. You should say no to that, kind of a man. he's going to waste your life. Yeah, he's a man who is not visioning the life ahead. I will want you to touch on that as you respond.
Okay, when it comes to the issue of purity, yes, I know most women want to wait, but okay, there is that pressure. But still, sometimes we can find the pressure coming even from the ladies. It's very possible. Because not really like not because they want it, but they feel like, if this guy is not asking me,
Yes.
maybe he's getting it somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. But the best thing is to know, to understand the reason for purity.
Yes.
Because you see, like, okay, and make up your mind. Because if you want to stay pure, you can set your goals and set your mind straight, and you know, I want purity. So if someone is trying to pull you to another direction, just know this is not the person that you're supposed to be with.
Yes.
Yeah, just let your no be no. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's you talked about 3 months or 3 or 4 months of dating, and we said it's not about how long you date. Basically, it's about vision, destiny, establishing that this is your friend. And you also mentioned that listening to God is an important aspect here. Maybe you can just tell us more about that, Moses.
Okay. You know, we walk under different grace. Yeah, so even when I said we dated for 4 months there,
Yes.
you cannot go and try that. That was my season.
Yes.
But it all depends how you listen to God.
Yeah.
My mind was actually from God. He told me this, and we started planning our wedding.
Yes.
And that's why I normally say that I said don't force yourself. You see, if you're finding yourself, you are forcing yourself to a relationship.
Yes.
You better quit as early as now. As you didn't have such feelings, you felt that tumejuana for long.
Yes.
Because it was confirmed. So when you said it was 4 months there, someone should go and try 4 months.
Yes.
It depends. The season. As though it was this our season. And
Yes.
God spoke to us directly. And this is where we purity now comes in. You see, because Mungu alituangalia, akaona, this is my son, this is my daughter.
Yes.
Feelings zikuwa zinakuja because hii si mbao, hii ni mwili. And feelings, it's not demon.
Yeah.
It's not demon, eh? This is ni kitu imewekwa na Mungu pale. But we learned to control our mind. We're not going to do these few things young people wanasemanga.
Yes.
Ati tutaonja sijui nini, kama ananipenda nipatie na hivyo.
Yes.
And I thank God because she was strong enough. Some will say we are going to walk until that day. It's not easy.
Yes.
To walk. It's not easy. You have feelings kama mtu mwingine, but we chose to stand firm with our faith. We control them because everything begins here in mind.
Yeah.
If you make your mind loose, the devil atakuchekelea by the end of the day. And kama kuna mahali shetani anajaribingi sana ni wakati wa relationship.
Yes.
Hapo. That's why the devil will make sure mess. Ni wakustaki. Akwambia sasa wewe si ulionja nani? Si mlionjana? Sasa mnatuambia nini?
Yes.
See that? Sasa mnatuambia nini?
So it creates a point of weakness.
And you know, any person who is telling you nataka tuonjane, huyo akupendi.
Yes.
Hapana. Kwa sababu mtu akiniambia ati nataka tuonjane, this means anafanyanga hivyo. Huyo ni yeye. Na ako pale for a season, after kisha nionja aende.
Yes.
That is why there's a lot of issues even in churches.
Yes.
We were trying to hide in church. You young people tunajaribu kujificha kanisani, then unajua what you did. Hili kwa sababu you love this guy.
Yes.
Huyo hataki umuache. Atakuonja tu kila siku. Akikudanganyanga.
Yeah.
Lakini when you talk about marriage hataki. See?
Yes.
That is what is happening in churches. Si uko nje, in churches. And we want to tell young people, it's not about kuonja. Hapana. Ukisikia mtu anakuambia nataka kukuonja kwa relationship,
Yes.
be very careful. That person will ruin your destiny.
Yeah.
kabisa. Yeah.
Okay.
So it all begins here.
From the mind.
From the mind.
Yes.
If no, say no. That's why I said kaa mbaya mbaya. Kwa sababu ya kuonja, wacha yaende. That was not your man, that was not your woman. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had such scenarios happening, as you're saying, even in people who are fellowshipping in the church. They're still in that umbrella. But it has become like a habit or a new norm that you have to, kuonja, you have to test the waters before. So this question I want to pose is to Mrs. Moses. How will you advise the young people who have grown and they're in the dating and they have already started this, they have not gotten into marriage, but they think it is comfortable to do this?
Okay. Someone may think it's comfortable, but okay, I don't think it's really comfortable. Because, once you are in there, you're not married.
Yes.
You're engaging with this guy. And, when it comes to, okay, if you are, hiyo kuonja sasa, there are so many things that come with it.
Yes.
It's quite a burden, by the way.
Yeah.
One, you don't want the people around you to know. Two, you see all these unwanted pregnancies, they come from there.
Yes.
You may also get even those other diseases.
Yes.
And one thing to be sure that you will not get those unwanted, all those things, is by staying pure. Because you see, like, for us, like, if you miss your period and you had it, it's quite stressing.
Yes.
Because you're now wondering, am I pregnant? And if I get pregnant, I'm a church girl. I'll be, my mom will not be proud of me. The church, how will I tell the people at church who have been looking up to me?
Yes.
So it's quite a burden. So I would advise it's best even for your mental health also, for you to be, it's good if you stop it, you cut it off, and you start the journey of purity.
Yes.
Because it will be so safe for you. There will be no burdens.
Yes.
About hiding this, because even if you lie to your parents, you lie to your friends, you lie to your pastor, you cannot lie to yourself.
True.
Still the burden will still be there. You still be feeling all these things. Like sometimes you see, like, we are repenting. Okay, maybe the pastor calls us to go to God before God for repentance, because then when he mentions that one thing,
yes,
it just pulls you down. And you remember, I'm not supposed to be standing in front of people, maybe leading praises. Maybe I'm not supposed to be serving here. You start judging yourself.
Yes.
And that will bring you down. It can even bring your faith down.
Yeah.
Of course, but when you repent, God will come. God will take you back. And no sin is unforgivable.
Yes.
Hata mtu akiua anaforgiviwa. There is forgiveness for that. So you can come to God for forgiveness and you change for better. And it will be you have that rest. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So other than all these other things that people will be afraid of getting into, that is when they start this sex before marriage. Of course, we also need to know that it is a sin. Yeah. And of course, the Bible talks about marriage and how the marriage institution should be treated. What can you advise, Moses, the young people who are getting into marriage? What are according to the Bible, what are the procedures that the Bible has outlined about marriage?
Yes, marriage is an institution.
Yes. And
you see, when you get married, you become one.
Yes.
You become one, and one should put asunder. That is the Bible, eh? And there's something that affects marriage. I've done some few of my research.
Yes.
Those who are coming to marriage, the young people. There's something we call separation.
Yes.
Or disconnect.
Yes.
Kwa sababu kama umelala na your ex last year ama hizo miaka umelala na yeye maybe.
Yes.
Then umepata huyu msichana, you want to get into marriage ama your jamaa. Something that is messing these young couples ama marriages
yes,
is not disconnecting themselves from the previous. boyfriend ama,
Yeah.
ama fiances.
Yes.
You see, mtu bado ako na huyo ex wake
Yes.
na disconnect na yeye bado they are connected.
Yeah.
You see, sex is a covenant
Yes.
and you do it to become one. So this means ukifanya na mtu mwingine huko nje na ukose ku disconnect yourself,
Yes.
still you carry that person.
Yeah.
So hata ukiingia kwa hiyo ndoa bado you be thinking about so and so.
Yes.
That is why ataenda nje kwa sababu akona nini, aja disconnect him or herself.
And there's still also the comparison. You're comparing this person with someone else. Yes.
And this is spiritual. That's
Yes.
why you need men of God to come in. They need to come in. Such a person should come to man of God.
Yes.
You know, I need deliverance. I need to be prayed for. I
Yes.
did 1, 2, 3 things. I need to be disconnected with my ex.
Yes.
Because if you don't, even if you get into marriage, it will affect. You'll be going back to so and so. Because already the spirit, you are connected.
Yes.
So first of all, if you want to come in this institution, disconnect yourself. Both of you.
Yes.
Lazima mwambieni ukweli. Mimi nilifanya hii na hii na hii. Nilionjana. I need to go now because now we want to plan for our future.
Yes.
Let's go to man of God and confess our sins and confess before God and let us be disconnected
Yes.
from our exes, because if you don't, it will affect your marriage.
Okay.
It will.
True.
So this is what coming to marriage, disconnect yourself from your exes. Kindly, because if you don't, this is a spirit.
Yes.
Aujue ulana na yeye, aujue kuna demons zinakaa aje. Anasumbua ukikaa hivi namfikiria because already you have carried his or her spirit with you.
Yes.
So hata mkiingia kwa your marriage, you just argue. Small issues. It's not about you two. There's something you should disconnect yourself from. You know what I'm saying? So young people, disconnect yourself. If you know very well, umetumiwa na umefanya hiyo mambo yote.
Yes.
Sex before marriage, and you have not yet disconnected with that person.
Yes.
That will affect yourself. It will affect your life. Go to the man of God, ask for forgiveness and confess and get delivered.
Yes.
Because if you're not going to get delivered, you'll be getting some relationships in Aisha.
Yes.
That's why somebody cannot stay with one boyfriend, girlfriend for 2 months. Ametoka huyo. That is a spirit. Naye ajui, anasema mimi ni mhot. Mnajua kuingisha mtu box. Hiyo ni uongo.
Yes.
Usijidanganye. Disconnect yourself. And tell God, now here I am. I need to be pure again now.
Yes.
And also go to the man of God.
Yes.
Confess to the man of God. Pray with the man of God. And disconnect yourself.
Yeah.
That will help and will save your marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for sharing that.
Yeah.
And I think we have covered a lot about purity before marriage. And now I want us to touch a bit on the standards. And I'll start with you, Mrs. Moses. We mentioned about people setting standards, saying that I'm looking for this and that kind of a partner. And I will want us to touch briefly about that as well today, so that we see, or rather we encourage the young people who are, after standards. We said marriage is not about standards. It's about destiny. It's about looking for a friend, someone you feel, when you encounter them, you feel free. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, we tend to set standards, yes. But what I would advise most is, even as you set standard, like you want such and this kind of a person, remember even that person is also looking for someone who is like him.
Yes.
So first, I would advise you dwell on yourself. You know, so to dwell on yourself.
Yes.
And see the kind of standards that you've put.
Yes.
Do you qualify to be with such a man? You just evaluate yourself.
Yes.
Because I know you'll be honest with yourself. So you see what is making you not to get such a person.
Yes.
Especially, and I'm talking more to those people who are in that bracket of now relationship to marriage.
Yes.
So once you evaluate yourself, you see your weaknesses, what is bringing you down. It will be easy for you, once you work on yourself, you build yourself. It will be easy for you to attract somebody who is like-minded, who is like you.
Yes.
So it will not be hard at going looking at this standard. You're like ticking somewhere, an exam. You're taking 1, 2, 3. It will be easy because it will just flow. You're already like this person.
Yes.
So you attract somebody who is like you. It will just flow.
Yeah.
Even the friendship, you not be working so hard for the relationship. It will flow. Everything will flow because you are like-minded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So let's get out of standards. Now we have talked about purity, standards, and now let's say you've now gotten your partner, and you are now married, and you guys are at this stage now, 3 years. You've been in marriage. I want you to just briefly tell people who are young in marriage like you, what are some of the things that you do when you find mismatch in your relationship, because you're coming from two different backgrounds, of course. So there are some things probably you want them done your way, she wants things done her way, because maybe that's how she has grown, knowing this is how you do this is how you do that. How do you settle those kind of differences? Moses, let's start with you.
Okay. I would say in our first year,
Yes.
I remember we used to have those two small challenges because of the differences.
Yes.
But what we used to do is, like, when I feel like whatever he's doing is not what I expect,
Yes.
we would have a meeting, we talk.
Yes.
I tell him this is what I was expecting, and then he'll share his side. Okay, we used to talk and we make sure we solve it. Even when it recurs again, we go back, we talk again. And I would say right now, I feel like we have come like to some middle place where, where we are almost okay. We are not yet there, but we are almost doing everything the same way, because they're still different.
Yes.
The raising, the way we were raised is different.
Yeah.
The cultural background are different.
Yes.
Even how he grew up, even with the social background, is also different.
Yeah.
So sometimes we'll find ourselves thinking differently and doing things differently, but we usually talk about it and we solve it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Moses, I think now we've given you time to think about it. So how do you establish that neutral ground?
Yeah, you see, now you are from different culture. Eh?
Yes.
She's a Kikuyu, I'm a Kamba. Na kuna vile nimegrow na kuna vile nimegrow.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember there's a day you used to quarrel because of me, I love nikiwekea kastiu kanakuwa na kasupu. Na hii inaweza kuwa amesema iko sawa.
Yes.
Na mimi nimezoea kanako kasupu.
Yeah.
So by the first year tuko tunaargue, babe mzee, kasupu. Na amesema nishazima gas.
Yes.
Sasa
labda uongezee maji.
Sasa sort ama tufanye kitu ili kwa nika challenge.
Yeah.
But tukapia tu one at least hiyo meeting.
Yes.
Tukajua mimi upenda kasupu. Mimi napendanga hivi. So
yes.
Up to date now at least we are doing something almost now.
Yeah.
Common. There's a few challenges unapatananga but we thank God.
Yes.
We thank God so far. Yeah.
And it's also good to mention, how do you settle conflicts? Because of course, where two people are together, there must be disagreement, and probably you'll find yourself you've caused a riot. How do you settle that?
First thing we normally do, okay, we can't just argue or sitting room.
Yes.
Pakiwa hapo, maybe a house help pakiwa hapo. Sometimes we just go out.
Yes.
Twende either an hotel ama outside.
Yes.
Kae chini ama in our office peke yetu, na tulizane maswali, wewe ulifanya aje?
Yes.
Kitu spendi hapo hii spendi, tutafanya ati kwa nini? Sometimes from different cultures, sometimes is how you react to things.
Yes.
Na yeye kuna vile reacting kwa vitu zake.
Of course.
Sometimes we as men, sometimes you do things, unajua ile mwanaume, mimi nafanya tu, lakini inamkwaza. Yes. Lakini wewe hata ikuhusu, ushapita.
Yeah.
Lakini anakuambia yenyewe ile kitu sikufurahishwa.
Yes.
So you have to call yourself a meeting. Then by the way, nikiongea hivi hapendi.
Yeah.
So utakuwa nikiongea hivi. So you have to change your tone. You're saying the same thing in microphone.
Yes.
But the tone you're using, itakuwa a bit friendly. Kama ndio supu, by the hii supu, the way you put your tone, at least ina make sure Yes, naongea nikiwa na ukali lakini haitoki hivyo. Yes, naongea like time niliongea ikamudhi. So make sure imekuja the same thing
Yes.
lakini now you put it a different way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's about adopting
And communication.
Yeah. Mrs. Susan, sorry, Moses, on the same. How will you say you settle those kind of conflicts?
Okay, one thing we agreed is that we should let the day go kama
Yes.
tumekasirikiana.
Yes.
So hata kama tulikasirikiana asubuhi nikaenda job.
Yeah.
So when we come home, nita make sure we don't go to bed before to solve your issue. Because hatutaki anyone to sleep angry.
Yes.
So I make sure we communicate. Nimemcommunicatea whatever was angering me, and we talk about it.
Yes.
We make sure it's clear by the time we sleep. Yeah.
And how long do you take to settle issues?
It
You
depends.
sometimes go, a day past a day without solving an issue you had.
No, I can't remember going past a day.
Yes.
Because I'm that kind of a person when ikiniudhi, I want to tell you right now before ipoe. Yeah, napenda nikwambie saa hiyo we solve it.
Yes.
Nisiibebe na uko kwa njia.
Yeah.
So most of the time we solve it hapo. Na pia yani is a kind of person mwenye atakwambia immediately. Hata kama niyo na ujeka kasupu and then anyamazia hapo, you take a food and then we talk about it later. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you say now, marrying your friends
Yes.
become even more better. Sababu the way you say something hata chukulia sana, hata kama utachukulia
Yes.
mtu make sure hajapita just hiyo one day. Make sure yenyewe ulinikosea lakini kama fika job na sort out your story inaisha.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what you say, marry your friend. Some things are just like they are fun.
Yes.
Yeah, juu mnakanga chini mnakumbushana by the way. Hey, niambia wewe unapenda supu sana.
Yeah.
No, inakuwa fun. After kusortia story yote inakuwa nao ni fun. You can make it fun.
Yeah. So I've heard you talk about kujiita kama mkutano. Yeah. Having these regular meetings just to communicate about your progress. Settle your differences. You can tell us more about those meetings. I believe there are sometimes probably settling of those issues does not come as you expected. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so it will depend with the agenda of the meeting.
Yes.
So kama ni kitu imenibo simwambiangi mara mbili. Si ati kumtext.
Yes.
Babe, nakutaka kuona leo. Period. Akijua hivyo anajua hai kuna kitu.
Yes.
Lakini kama ni issues za about future,
yes,
hapo utampatia even the agendas.
Yeah.
Mtaelewana tu agenda, nataka tufanye hivi na hivi. But issue nyingine ya kusort issue kunanga agenda.
Yeah.
Just nakuna leo jioni, nataka tupatane. That is it.
Yeah.
So it all depends on the agenda ya mikutano. Yeah.
You're right. And how do you call that meeting? A text or you just talk to her face to face?
I told you there's some issues they will hit you akienda job.
Yes.
Actually niambia, actually alifanya aje. I just call. Leo ukifika job nataka leo tuonane. So hakuna kuuliza kuna nini? Anataka leo tuonane tu.
Yeah.
Hivyo. So yeye atajazia, atajua leo nilifanya nini nikitoka home. Yes.
Okay. So Mrs. Moses, you know you're to be summoned. I'm sure there's some text you see and I know this is going to create a story. So how do you settle those differences?
Okay. Hapo kwa text, it's not like it's a text. Most of the time it's not even a text.
Yes.
Ni ile, we were talking, we were doing something and then kuna kitu imekuwa imemjamisha na naona it's like ayu mdemaoni. So sometimes you just go to the bedroom and then maybe ameniacha tu hapo sito kidogo nasikia babe hebu come kidogo. Then ndo ataanza kuniambia this is the issue.
Yes.
So sometimes mnaweza kuwa mmekasirikiana it's not ile kitu naona amefanya ama naona nimefanya. It's not ni vile tu we are okay, there are viewpoints sayo ziko tofauti. But sometimes when uki explain, like for example nilikupatia 20k unataka kuniambia pesa imeisha. So we sit down, nita explain, unaona hii ilienda kwa hii nililipa rent, ndio hii receipt yake, hii nilinunua hii na hii na hii. Tuna settle down, unaona enyewe hii uliniambia nilipe huyu, hii uliniambia peana hapa, tulituma kwa nani. So at the end of it wataona ni ukweli by the way pesa yenyewe ni kuisha imeisha. So it's not like misappropriate ama nini. So and it will be settled that way. Na kuna zingine inaweza kuwa labda tulikuwa tunaongea nimejaa ndio mimi nimeingia bedroom niuliza babe uko poa, kuna kitu nakusumbua? Ni nini hiyo? So maybe nilikuwa nashanga kwani haoni na ajui na ashinda akirudia hii kitu. So tutajipata sasa hiyo ndio tutaingia bedroom tuongee tena. It's just a matter of kusikiza huyo mwingine anasema ana view the situation aje and then how do I view it. So shida ilikuwa nini, and most of the time utapata hata haikuwa shida kubwa, it's just a misunderstanding. Ama kama ilikuwa kweli ni makosa, mwenye amefanya makosa atakubali, and then hata kama hatakubali utamwacha kidigest. With time utakuja mconclude. You conclude.
So Moses, have there been a scenario where you have done something, she's angry about it, and when you have this meeting, you're like, you're too really, you question yourself, you even also question her. Was that small thing the one that made you angry this much?
Yeah, kuna siku amenituma Pampers. Sasa Jua, sometimes we as business people are funny. Umesikia kuna kabiashara mahali. Sasa umeambiwa niete Pampers, si unakuja unaambia uko kwa shop. Lakini biashara imekuja. Hujamwambia umeenda hadi Kikuyu labda. Amekupigia simu uchukue kwa mkutano, hapo umekuja babe. Ulienda wapi? Nimetoka meeting. Kuna story nataka kusort out. Babe, so kumejamio nyumba mzima. Yenyewe ni kweli hakuna Pampers, mtoi ana Pampers. Lakini kwangu ilikuwa like kitu tu, kabla kuja tuongee nilikutuma angalia. Siunge by this ungeenda uchukue pale kwa duka, nitakuja nilipe. Lakini tunasort out tu pole pole. So the thing sometimes unapata ni challenge lakini tunasort out. As friends. We have to sort them out. That's the scenario nilijipata sasa nimemjamisha mimi kwangu ni sawa, lakini kwake kilikuwa urgent sana. Mimi nikadhota lakini after ku discuss ni Pampers tu babe. Si ungeendea sasa nikimbilie tu hapa. But we have to understand each other. And communication.
True. So talking of communication, so that's the reason why I was asking about the meeting, calling yourself for a meeting. Because it brings the aspect of how important communication is in a marriage. Mrs. Moses, maybe you can tell us more about how communicating in your marriage, you have seen it resolve issues, even help you achieve visions together as a couple.
Communication is very key and essential. Kwa sababu I realize, you see, like if nimekasirika and I don't tell him, hiyo burden nitaibeba. Leo nimekasirishwa na hii, next day there's something else that imeniannoy. So mimi mwenyewe nasikia mpaka the next time atakuja kuniambia kitu naweza lipuka, niseme kitu kingine tena itamkasirisha. Do you know, ukiwa umepile a lot of things, unagoja tu kitu moja, uko like a ticking bomb, umegoja tu kitu moja ikulipue tu. So na ukiongea maybe the scenario the way itatokea it's different from if you solve the first issue, you talked, you solve the first issue, and then next time ina happen ingine usolve. So hata ingine ikikuja bado uko ile place unajua we can still solve. So I believe mkicommunicate, mkiongelesha na mwambiane ukweli. Si kukuwa na tu vitu toko umejiekea, especially kwa finances pia. Juu like sasa ati mimi natumia madhe to do hapa, simwambii nilituma. Zangu ni ile ya zangu ni zangu, zake ni zetu. So nikificha tu vitu na ya ficha toke, kuna mahali tutakoled kwa sababu itafika tumejiekea masiri mingi. Na zitatusumbua. It's good when you communicate, najua. Hata ukiniambia nilitumia madhe hii, si tunaelewa kila mtu ako na mzazi, they raised us and it's our responsibility pia
Yes.
kukaa tukiwa support when they need us.
Yeah. So as we conclude, let's talk about finances in marriage. Moses, he has mentioned sometimes, and we have heard this over and over again. Yeah, yake ni yake. Yako ndio yenyu. So how do you handle that in marriage?
Since we started our journey of relationship,
Yes.
we believed in one thing. Yetu ni yetu si zote.
Yes.
Ili tunapata na mimi napata, tunaweka kwa meza.
Yes.
Hii ni tithe. Yes. Hii inaenda hivi. We budget. We normally budget. Akipata mshahara yake na mimi nipate yangu, hata kama ni biashara imeenda nimefanya biashara imeiva.
Yes.
Namwambia, babe, imeiva 10k.
Yeah.
Tunaweka pale. Tunaipangia si zote.
Okay.
That way you want to go wrong. So kwa wakati mwingine nakutanga nikimficha.
Yes.
Nitakuja kusota. Nani nitaitisha fare?
Yeah.
Si ni yeye.
Yeah.
Lakini nikimficha ficha hata taficha. Tunaambia wewe kanyaga makubwa kubwa. Unaona? So finances, management of finances, marriage is very important.
Yes.
Very key. History ya kusemanga ati mwanaume hii pesa sitaambia bibi yangu pesa niko nayo, inaua marriages mingi sana.
Yeah.
Beta mweke hapo ikose kutosha. Lakini mumewekelea hapo nini? Yote. Is up to date. No do like that, up to date. Yes. Pesa yake ya end month na yangu tunaweka pamoja sisi. Tuna budgetia, hata kwanza ni budgetia.
Yes.
I know she's good in management.
Yeah.
Sina mianga babe nipata hii. Wewe fanya hiyo list yote.
Yes.
Shika hii pesa.
Yeah.
Me I believe in that. Because she's my wife.
Yes.
And she's my friend. Najificha nini? So she's a very good, I normally call her manager.
Yeah.
In my house. My finances, yeye ndio manage.
Yes.
Even the work, even our business, I normally trust her so much.
Yes.
Because ataweza kupanga kila kitu vizuri. So trust is very important.
Yes.
Trust and kuwa faithful and just be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest. Kama yenyewe hakuna pesa. That way we trained ourselves. Kuleta hii pamoja.
Yes.
Tupange pamoja. That will make your marriage to survive and even to be more healthier even. Kwa sababu pesa ikikuwa ndio vita.
Yes.
Marriage imeisha. But when you are just be open to each other. Ni sawa. Ndio watu wengi wanaambia wewe ni sijui ufai kuacha bibi yako pesa yote, haufai. Hapana, imeandikwa wapi? Wewe ulisikia wapi?
Yes.
So, ndio kusikia mahali.
Yeah.
Just you are one.
True.
Kwa sababu you see nikimficha atajua.
Yeah.
Atajua tu ananifichanga kitu fulani. Ataanza kuficha.
Yeah.
So kama ni kwa madhe nataka 5k namwambianga babe, mapero anataka 5k. Tufanye aje? Tuwe pale tuandike tutarudisha. Sawa. Tunafanya hivyo. Lakini kituma hiyo inamaanisha simu respect.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So yeah, but she does planning vizuri. That's why I trust her with my finances because I know she's capable of planning. Yeah.
And Mrs. Moses, you've agreed to that and you're comfortable with that?
Yes, it works.
Yes.
And to add on that, I also say, you see, when it's good when you to ask God akupatie the right person who is your friend and who you can be able to work together. Kwa sababu when you're with the right person, easy vitu za trust, they won't be there. The trust issues will not be there. So when you have the right person, unajua uko free na yeye. Naweza kuambia hii. Najua ukimisappropriate nitakwambia hapa ukutumia pesa vizuri.
Yes.
And then so we have that culture ya kuweka budget before we know we expect this and this is our budget, so tunaifuata na tukishindwa okay kama tutataka kwenda away we talk tutasema like hey, kuna hiki kitu imekuja in between si tusoti kwanza before the other and so it's like we run it together kama vile tunaweza run biashara.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, so I think we can conclude it there and I want to thank you again for coming for this show. This is your second time here and we have learned a lot and we have received comments from Facebook and YouTube and I'm going to go through them starting with Facebook. We have John K. Mahiga saying blessed couple, thanks Sami, and we have Mary Wangoi saying wow, very blessed couple, I'm happy for you. And we have Anne Gadhambi, it's wow. Masi Kanju, blessed couple. And Joyce M. Joy says, interesting. From YouTube, we have Zipporah John, a blessed couple. Thank God for good advice. May God keep that unity. And from Samuel Wambogo, he says, beautiful and encouraging story. Thank you for sharing. More grace from the Lord Jesus Christ to you dear ones. So actually these comments are referring to you, because this was the last episode we uploaded, and people are commenting, and they are very happy with your relationship, and as a couple you are encouraging very many people out there. To our viewers, continue subscribing to our channels. We are on Facebook as AIC Riruta Local Church, and on YouTube as AIC Riruta. Hit the subscribe button so that you get the notifications once we upload a video there, and leave a comment so that we can keep encouraged, and we can encourage others as well. Asante sana.